Betts, Freeman, Smith, Muncy at the top.
Yes.
Is that what we're going to see?
You know, a lot of it, I don't know yet. It makes sense, but I think that a lot of the lineups that, whether it was yesterday or you'll see tomorrow or the days forthcoming, it's to kind of get guys at bats, regardless of pitcher. You know, have some catchers up there a little bit higher just to make sure they can get their bats and they're not kind of playing too much. So, but I like that. It's hard to go wrong. It's going to be fun to kind of see how this lineup construction plays out.
How much time have you spent tinkering with it?
I've thought about it. I think that it's just kind of trying to figure out, you know, Mookie at the top. Is it best? You know, where to put JD, where to put Will Smith, where's Max? I don't think there's a right answer. I think that, you know, as we have conversations and let things play out, it'll show itself a little bit more.
You kind of settled Gavin at 9th spot for a good chunk of last season. That's something similar you can sort of see this year, just with the speed rolling over towards the top.
I liked him there last year. You know, I don't know, you know, how it's going to play out this year. But I think, you know, he's taking on a different position, a position he's comfortable with. So, you know, to see him somewhere 6 through 9, I think that I think anyone could make a case for any of those positions on a particular day.
Is there a temptation to even, you know, drop Mookie a spot or two, given the power he had last year, and it maybe didn't equate to as many, you know, driving in as many runs as he could have?
I think I'm thinking about it. I think that having that discussion is thoughtful, makes sense, given the fact that you don't expect him to steal bases like he's done in the past. He showed some more power, which potentially could have been more production as far as runs batted in. So I think that having the discussion is responsible. I don't know how that manifests, but yeah, I'm thinking about that.
Does he have a preference?
No, he doesn't. I think the thing is that if you're talking about moving Mookie, you also got to have a better option, an option that makes sense. So having the conversation, I don't think is harmful.
He's expressed a very definite preference for leadoff. We went through this a couple times over the last 2 years.
Yeah, but even talking to him, he just said that every year's different, and this is just a recent conversation that he'd be open to if there is a change. You know, for the Classic, he's going to hit second or third. So that in itself is kind of which he's excited about.
Who would your other candidates be?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know yet. I really don't. I mean, I think that your guys' guesses right now would be as good as mine right now. But it's hard to come off Mookie not being the best option. But to have those conversations, I don't want to get too far down the line with that. But while he's gone, you know, there's going to be other guys hitting at the top of the order. So that'll be an opportunity.
Given that you've lost a lot of offense in the two Turners leaving, how critical is it that Taylor and Muncy kind of have bounced back years?
It's critical, and obviously having JD Martinez also is going to be certainly helpful to fill that void that you mentioned. But Max, what he showed the last couple months of the season, being healthy, was certainly encouraging for him. And this is as good as I've seen Max kind of body and mind since he first came over here. Really it is. And I think a lot of that is because he's healthy, and he's just happy, and really he's hungry, because last year's the sum of the season isn't who he is, and so he's determined to prove that. And having CT get back to health and being Chris Taylor that we know, it's important.
But Max, has that translated into the swing from what you can see so far, especially also some of the off-season bat
Yes,
trading?
all of it, yes. Going up there, you know, doing that hitting program, the strength, all that stuff, giving him confidence, understanding how the body moves. He's in as good a shape as I've seen him, as far as kind of the leanness. And I think all that helps. And also, number one, he's just healthy. His elbow is completely healthy. The extension is where it needs to be, too.
Yeah, and CT had a down year last year, was banged up. What leads you to believe he's going to have a big bounce back season this year? What have you seen from him?
I think he's healthy, number one, and it's just hard to not bet on the player. And I'm going to make sure that he gets plenty of opportunities to impact us in whatever role that might be. The value of CT is the brain, as far as understanding that he's very unselfish. He's a great teammate. He'll be ready when called upon. But just knowing he's healthy, it's just hard not to bet that, the ball in play, the consistency of it bat, isn't going to have a significant uptick.
How closely yesterday were you guys watching Syndergaard, especially with someone on base, the delivery speed and the ability to hold runners?
We're watching it. I think with Noah, right now, he's really trying to focus on some things mechanically that he wants to kind of get that foundation. But the fact is, he's got to continue to get better at holding runners. And how do we do that? There's varying times. There's increasing delivery times to the plate because, at some point, giving up 90 feet isn't going to be helpful for a guy that can put the ball on the ground and potentially get a double play. So I know Noah's mindful of that, and we're going to continue to work together to get better.
Are there other guys who are kind of in that category too, especially with, if stolen base attempts are going to go up, that you've had to look at? We have. All of our guys understand that and the importance of it. And you'll see as kind of guys are doing some things. Phil Bickford's done a great job of trying to work on that. That's just off the top of my head. But other guys are still mindful of how important it is.
Who's going to have the hardest time with the pitch clock of your guys?
I think, we did it yesterday, and Julio in 2 innings, 4 pitches would have been called a ball.
Really?
So I don't think it's going to be hard for him because he's just got to know, and he's a guy that once he understands the rules or expectations, he adapts. I don't think any of our guys off the top of my head, it's going to impact them.
Baez, Jansen, and Kenta are all gone.
Correct.
So.
That's right. And if they were in camp, I would have a different answer.
Hey, a general question, with JT gone, just on the changes, they happen every year, but what's the feel like this year? How different is it, as you mix new people in and some of the old standbys being gone?
You know what, I think it's, I think the feel is it's a new ball club, and it's just a different feel, and not to take away from anyone that's not here. I think that it's just guys are excited about the present. I just feel like it's been the energy, the focus, kind of the guys kind of meshing. It's been fun for me to see that, and I think we all who have been around Justin really appreciate what he did for this organization, but I think that guys are more focused on right now and kind of the guys that are in the room.
Sure.
Yeah, we know Freddie and Mookie, they're the 2 big dogs in that clubhouse. How would you describe their leadership styles?
Similar in the sense that they're not 2 rah-rah type guys. They're more leaders by example. They do and say the right things. So I think that their leadership styles are very similar with a lot of guys in our clubhouse. We have more of those guys, which I would actually prefer.
Yeah,
how much with you bring in Hayward and Martinez, each of them are pretty close with, and those 2 also seem kind of a little bit more like rah motivational guys. Like, how intentional was that part, or how much of a benefit can you get having guys that they're comfortable with who are also kind of more in that kind of vein of leadership?
I think it was very important to get the right it's always important to get the right players and the right people. I think that what I would say is they're leaders. I think for me, they're not afraid to have hard conversations. They do things the right way. They're accountable. And I think for me that I'm really excited about this team is we have a lot of dependable players, and that means a lot of different things. And so whether it be preparation, it be thinking and saying the right things, playing the right way, as a manager, to have dependable people and players, it's really important, and it makes me sleep a lot better.
How do you see the outfield shaping up ahead of the first spring training game?
We have a lot of good outfielders. I think that CT, Trace, David Peralta, Jay Hay, Mookie, all those guys, Outman, they're all kind of get playing time, and we're going to lose some outfielders, Peralta, Mookie, some guys to the WBC, and Zimmer and Duggar, they're going to be playing. So we got a lot of talented guys. Pages is a young prospect that I'm excited to see him get some opportunities and see what it looks like too.
Do you have a sense of who's going to be playing tomorrow in the first game in the lineup?
Yeah, I do. It's I don't have it here, but I think Lux and Vargas will be in there. Peralta will be in there. I'm not sure who's catching tomorrow. I know Michael's starting, but those are some of the guys, some of the names.
Is there an emphasis to get Lux and Vargas in a lot of these games?
Yeah, but Vargas isn't going to be swinging the bat, so he'll play, call it 5 innings of defense, but he'll be in there, and you can let the Brewers know he's going to be taken.
With Hayward, what's kind of more important for you this spring? Is it results or is it resume? Both.
Well, I think it's I don't think they're. I think that with result, I think how he's taken on a swing change, and so I think that just kind of seeing his comfort level and how he takes at bats, which I've already seen so far, is really good, and just be him. And the resume is he's a pro, plays defense. You're going to see him in center field more. So yeah, just kind of monitoring, but I think we all know what we're going to get. But we're excited about kind of the opportunity of a better, cleaner swing.